I don't think I need to do it that many times, but I'm gonna do it that many times anyway.
I mean, just in case you didn't hear yourself the first, 5 times.
True.
Yeah.
You never know.
Sometimes the audio cuts out.
Sometimes it do.
It be like that.
It be like that some days.
Hi, is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Kira.
I might be a bitch, but I'm your bitch. Emily.
And welcome back to Gremlins by Nature.
Speaking of bitches.
Ooh.
Hey, Kira. Don't you just love dealing with the public?
Oh, it is one of my most favorite activities that I have ever encountered in my 24 years on this planet.
I love my job, but I greatly hate that it's dealing with the public every day. Although, knock on wood, I've not had any super shitty customers, so that's lovely. But I have in the past.
Oh,
Many
God.
of them.
So, I firmly believe that everyone in their lifetime should at least work one retail job.
Uh-huh. Retail and or fast food.
Yes. Anything that services the public.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Work it, and you don't have to work it for a long period of time, 6 months.
6 months and you'll get it, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get it within a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I genuinely think that people who have the Karen-esque quality about them haven't worked
Oh no,
with the public.
they're spoiled and entitled as shit. That's why they're Karens.
I mean, fair. I genuinely feel like if you were to put them in the position of working,
Oh, they'd lose their shit. They wouldn't know what to do. They'd lose their mind.
because the amount of restraint you have to not talk back.
The power to just smile and nod at somebody and yep. I've had people get more pissed off at me because I've had zero response to them freaking the fuck out at me than I have if I've hollered back.
I haven't ever had the balls to yell back at someone. I have, however, had a Ken make me cry in a parking lot before.
Oh no. What happened?
So this was back when I was working at Superstore.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in the grocery pickup, online pickup stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was taking orders out, and this was mid-pandemic,
Oh, so not too long ago.
yeah, like when it first started, kind of thing. And I'm there, and I was I'm just trying to get orders out to people, kind of thing. And we had a protocol where at that time we were taking at least 3 orders out at a time.
Yeah.
And the carts are really big and heavy and clunky, and people can get over $500 worth of groceries.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was mad that he had to wait exactly 5 minutes for me to get out there. Even though he wasn't the first one in the parking lot, he had called after the other 2 people, and I was just servicing, trying to get everyone out. And he stopped me as I got to him, and before, I was just trying to say hello. I'm like, hi, how you doing? Because, I have to be polite. I'm like, hi, I'm so sorry for the wait, kind of thing. And he stops me. And he's like, do you realize how bad this is? And, just kind of goes off for 10 minutes. And I'm just there. And I don't respond well to criticism in general, because I'm very sensitive. And he was genuinely angry at me, and I was trying.
Wild.
I was very professional, and I tried to explain calmly. I was like, I am so sorry. It's just that protocol right now. I am supposed to do it this way. I am sorry you had to wait.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's not good enough. I'm going to report you. Which was okay. And he's like, what's your name? And I was wearing my name tag, because I have to. I'm like, my name's Kira.
I wish we lived in a world where we could fucking talk back to people as customer service, because I would have been like, can you read? I'm wearing a name tag.
I wanted to say that. I was like, my name's Kira, and I was still maintaining an air of smiling, because I'm good at hiding my sad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, for lack of better words.
Yep.
And he's like, all right, well, like, and it's like, I want to speak to your manager, and I'm like, he was like, he wanted to get me fired. I was like, okay.
Because he had to wait 5 minutes.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna, I'm like, would you like to speak to my manager? Because I was friends with my manager. But, like, they're really chill, and they're a very nice person.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want to speak. And I, like, go in, and, like, I'm walking in, and, like, I, like, put his groceries away, because I had to do that first.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, and I get in there with the cart, and they can see me coming, and they just slowly see my expression change. And my supervisor just looks at me, and she's like, what's wrong? And instantly,
I hate that. Oh my god.
tears. And I explained what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, absolutely not. And she goes out.
Hell yeah.
And I generally don't know what she said to him. I don't know whatever happened. I had a good cry. I went into the bathroom and collected myself.
As you do, yeah.
And then I had another 4 hours left in my shift.
Gotta love it. Keep on that grind. Yeah, when I was younger, like my first customer service job was in high school. I worked at Wendy's, the good old Windows. And like every little interaction made me so like, anytime anybody got a little bit upset or whatever, and this, that, and the other thing, like I was very receptive to it all. But then I kept working customer service, and then I kept realizing that it doesn't fucking matter. And like to the point now where at my current job I'm contracted to do another company's work, which I'll keep it vague and not use names. So it's a lot of A, not my circus, not my monkeys, not my fault. B, above my fucking pay grade to give a shit.
And that's the important piece.
Yep. And like, so I do installs for like cable and home security and stuff like that. And like, I get there and people are pissed off because this, that, or the other thing. And they're pissed off about their payment or this, that, and whatever. I'm like, look, I can install this and get it done for you. I have no control over how much you pay. I have no control over your experience you had with customer service. I apologize if it was bad. Like, I obviously, like, I don't go in being a bitch. Like, I go in, I be very polite and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if they're going to be bitchy and cranky and whatever towards me, I'm very good at just smile and nod. Yep. Okay. I apologize for that. I can do what I can, but, if you want me to do the install, I'll do it. If not, I can cancel it. You can figure something out. Like, it's like, I'm just at the point now where I've gotten almost too good at the work/life divide where like I go to work and I'm basically a completely different person.
It's that customer service personality.
You just flick that switch, and then like as soon as I go home, I don't like there'll be like some days where like the little thing, like the subtle fat shaming I had to deal with the other day at work was like that one twinged a little bit, and it was so silly because like usually that stuff doesn't bother me at all, but it was just the way, like, so I have to use ladders and stuff occasionally to be able to reach things. So I just asked, it was this little old like grandma, and I had asked to borrow a ladder, and she was just like, I have one, but I don't know if it will hold you, as she looks me up and down. And I was like, I don't know why that stung, but that stung.
I mean, I understand why it stung. That's fucking dick move.
I was like, okay, thanks. And then she pulls out a stepladder that I have here at my house. And I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks.
Like, it's a stepladder.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was kind of like, yeah, I put out a little tweet, but fuck customers, yay. But then the next day, I had this lovely customer that makes homemade jewelry out of like copper wiring and stuff, and he was great. We like shot the shit the entire time, and he was chit chatting, and then I was getting ready to leave. He's like, "Oh, come over here, pick out a bracelet." I was like, "No, I can't do that." And he's like, "No, seriously, get over here. I have so many of them. Take one." And he just let me pick, and I was like, "Oh, well, thank you. It's very nice."
I think that's amazing. And like there are like certain parts of like customer service that like or like certain encounters that I've had that like I'm like, okay, maybe it's not so bad. But then you go in for the next day and you're like, oh right, because in my time of doing customer service related things, I've worked at a gas station.
Right.
I've worked front desk at a college dorm.
Right.
Which is basically hospitality.
Yeah.
And then I worked at Superstore, which is just a big grocery store chain in Canada, specifically, I think, in
Atlantic Canada?
Yeah. They might have it.
No, because it's Atlantic Superstore. So I think it's only Atlantic Canada.
Okay.
But they're owned by Loblaws, which does fucking everything. So I'm sure there's other companies elsewhere.
Yeah, like No Frills. It's like No Frills, but...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But it's like... I forgot where I was going with that.
Those are your experience with customer service.
So, like, the very few, like, nice things that I have had happen during that, I'm like, it doesn't quite make up for what happened.
The shittiest thing with dealing with the public is it only takes one person to ruin it for you.
Exactly.
And that's, like, retrospectively, if I knew that I was ever that person for somebody, I would hate myself for it.
Oh God!
But the fact that there's people out there that don't give a shit, is like,
where's your humanity?
Yeah.
Your empathy?
Yeah. Do you? And that where it comes back to, like, everyone. It should be a rite of passage. You should have to work fast food. Like getting your driver's license. You should have to be able to do your beginners, which is working at a fast food restaurant or retail, before you can get a big boy job.
Because, let alone, like, having to, like, or, like, realize that your actions do have consequences. It, helps you with people skills.
Oh, 100%,
and, using a register is important. There are people that I know in my life that have never used a register and do not know how to use it.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's interesting to me. I don't know how we got to that point. I was explaining how to use a register to someone recently, and I was like, it baffles my mind that you don't know how to.
Yeah. Well, and I find it so funny, too, in the sense of, like, I mean, we're obviously in a weird world right now when it comes to jobs and, like, availabilities and stuff like that, but one of the funniest arguments I find is these... I can never remember the political, if it's left wing or right wing or whatever side they're on. The fucking Trump supporters, basically, is what it boils down to. But, like, the people who are like, oh, all these foreigners are coming into our country and stealing all of our jobs. 90% of them are working at, like, McDonald's or Tim Hortons. Is that where you want to be? Because as far as I'm concerned, that option's been there for you the entire time, and you're not taking it.
Yeah, you seem to think that they're, the scum of the earth, the people that work in these jobs, even though that they are necessary jobs.
Yeah.
You complain about your coffee being exactly 2 seconds later than what you want it to be, but without that person being there, you would not have your coffee. You would not have the energy to go to work, to complain about the person that you're...
God forbid you make your own coffee at home.
I know.
It's fucking... But it's so funny, too, because when you're out, like... I've been many instances where I've been at a retail store or I've been somewhere and, like, something's happening with, like, the debit machine or something goes wrong or whatever, and the like person is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and I'm literally just like, I've been there, I've worked the retail gig, you take your time that you need. Like, it's so nice when you run into somebody that has also been in that situation and they're like, it's okay. Take your time. I get it. It's fine. Like,
it's like, they've been yelled at it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Example, when we went to McDonald's. Oh wait, no, it was me and Jenna. Sorry.
That's okay.
Me and Jenna had went to McDonald's last time we, like, hung out, which was, like, a couple weeks ago. Outside of, like, doing it, like, because we do, like, a weekly hangout thing.
Oh yeah.
For, like, so, like, we had, like, gone to McDonald's and we're, like, waiting, and there's this older gentleman in front of us in the drive-thru, and he's been parked there for a while. Like, I say a while. He's been there for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But he was, like, getting all, like, huffy and stuff. He gets out of his car.
The fuck?
And, like, goes and raps on the window, and, like, the girl that's, like, getting, like, the food, because, like, there's, like, the window that you pay at, and then there's, like, the food service window.
Yep.
And, like, there's at the particular one that we were at on the road that is closest to where Emily lives.
Okay, yeah.
There's 2 pickup windows, because there's like pay and then double windows. He was at the other one. And the girl opens the window and he starts like yelling at her, being like, why is it taking so long, blah blah blah. And like the girl that was like servicing us is just like looking, and then he's like looks over at her and starts being like, we're like, whoa, what's going on? And like we by the time he got his food, which it had been 4 minutes, he had 2 giant bags of food. It's like no wonder why it took a little longer. Also, the drive-thru's always fucking busy. If you want quick service, surprisingly, go in.
Yeah.
That's just it. Everyone thinks like the drive-thru is so much faster. It really isn't.
The drive-thru is just convenient, so you don't have to get out of your car.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean it's faster.
Yeah, but like everyone's like, oh, we're going through the drive-thru. It's gonna be so quick. It's like no, because everyone wants to use the fucking drive-thru. Go in, you'll get better service. Not better service, but like faster service because there's no one in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
But like after like that happened, like Jenna, she like looked at like the girl that was like serving us. I'm like, I'm so sorry you have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that like this girl was probably like
in high school,
like 16.
Yeah.
And she like looks us dead in the eyes. It's like, it happens all the time. I'm like, I'm sorry you have to deal with it. I'm like,
yeah. And that's the other thing too. Half the time you go to these stores and you are screaming at the employee, they're a fucking child. Especially fast food restaurants, because that's usually most kids' first job is working at McDonald's, working at Tim Hortons, working like something like that, and you're screaming at this literal child.
Like what do you like? How bad of a relationship with your inner child do you have that you feel better about screaming at a teenager?
And or how fucking entitled do you think you are?
Yeah, it's like,
hold on. My cat is currently destroying a box next to us, and the ice machine's going off. There's a lot of things happening.
I genuinely believe that you have no empathy if you are willing to scream at someone that you know you're not going to see again.
I can understand if your order was wrong or something like that. There is a way that you can calmly say, hey, this wasn't right. Do you mind fixing it?
Yeah.
100%.
That's completely different.
Yeah, if there is an issue, that's fine. But there is no need to be screaming and hollering over a fucking burger.
No reason to raise your voice. Like, I, technically speaking, should not be eating cheese. But when someone gives me a burger with, like, cheese on it, I'm not going to scream at them.
Yeah.
Most of the time I just eat it because I'm like, I'm too chicken shit to tell them.
Also, it's not like you listen to your lactose intolerance all the time anyway.
Oh God, no. I make choices. But, like, that's just besides the point. Like,
Can I tell you
so worked up.
Can I tell you a really fucking stupid story about a customer getting worked up?
Fucking yes.
I was working at Spirit Halloween.
Oh, God. Okay.
I may have already told you the story before, but I'll tell it again for the podcast. A woman comes in. So with Spirit Halloween, it's also in the States, so I'm sure many people will be familiar with it. They have a policy, because they're not stupid, and they know that people will just buy a costume and return it, like, the next day after they go to their Halloween party. So, after, I can't remember the exact dates, but basically, after, like, the 10th of October, you can only do returns. Or, you can't do returns. Wait, hold on. I'm getting this mixed up now.
It's like returns but a week before.
Yeah, so up until the 10th, you can do returns. After that, it's only exchanges or credit. Because, again, they're not stupid.
Yeah.
They don't want people the whole month of October just buying a costume and then returning it the next day. So we had a woman come in. It was literally like the 25th of October. So we're like almost to Halloween. And she comes in and she goes, I bought this costume. It doesn't fit. I want to return it. And my coworker, who I was standing next to, was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, our policy is we can't do returns, but if you want to pick something else out, we can exchange or give you store credit. And she goes, well, that's fucking stupid. It doesn't fit. I'm not going to wear it. I don't want another one. So obviously you already went to your Halloween party and you're just trying to return this costume. So anyway, it blows up. She keeps getting angrier and angrier. And she's like, well, that's stupid. The policy should be written somewhere. And the girl, my coworker, just reaches over and points at a sign next to the cash that says, after this date, no returns, exchanges only. And she goes, well, I didn't see that, so it doesn't count. So if I walk into a store and I don't see the cash register, can I just walk out with what I want? Because that's how it works. And then she pulls well, my brother-in-law's a lawyer and I'm going to fucking call him and like basically sue your ass. I'm like, do you think Spirit fucking Halloween gives a shit that you're going to sue us over a $60 Halloween costume?
You are getting mad over spandex and cheap plastic, my dear.
Yeah. Also, we have change rooms. If you didn't know it would fit, try it on before you leave.
I was going to say, I mean, like, it was like a little bit different during like COVID era. But like pre-COVID.
This was 2019. So
okay.
Pre-COVID.
So pre-COVID. Because like I was going to say, when I went to school for animation, there was the Spirit Halloween that was there. Mm-hmm. And I tried on several different costumes because I just wanted to see what happened. Because like that's what I did on the weekends when like Spirit Halloween's there. Let's dress up as Spock. Come on.
Yeah, let's do it.
I had a great time, but I'm like, my dear.
Yeah, the fact like she's like, I'm gonna call my brother-in-law. He's a lawyer. I'm gonna like get him involved and blah 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 blah. And it's like it's written on the bottom of the receipt as well. Like, it's posted all throughout the store. Like, and she just kept going, and then it basically
on the website.
Yeah, it basically, I can't remember exactly how it ended. My coworker basically told her to fuck off and walked away from her. But it was like got the manager out, and he was just like, look, I apologize, but like that's the procedure. Like, that works. And then of course, because it's the manager, they seem to magically listen to them.
I always love that.
I love the instances, like I've seen so many people describing it on TikTok and stuff, where they're like, let me speak to your manager, and the person's like, okay, 1 minute, and they turn around and turn back and they go, hi, it's me. Like,
right? And one thing that always like kind of got me is that like I've had like managers that started after I started working there, so like I in terms of things technically have like time seniority. Yeah. But again, like I'm in like in a lower position, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
But it's like I've been here long and I understand how it works. I just don't have the official title to be like, here's your discount code for like 10 cents off. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't, like, it's wild. And I mean, I feel like in some instances, post-pandemic, people are either better about it or they're worse, and there's no in between. Because people are like, oh, you know, obviously everything got shut down and all this kind of stuff, and like, God love our essential workers and everything that were still there. But like, I mean, I was working at the liquor store at the time, and we were considered essential services, so we were up and running during the entire pandemic. And it was either people, like, there was literally 50-50. There was, people were wonderful and they were very understanding, and obviously we were short-staffed and stuff too during the pandemic, and people were great. Or people were just like, of course they went on the whole like, oh, it's fucking fake, this is bullshit, blah, 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 blah. When masks were a thing, we weren't allowed to let people in without masks, and of course that blew people up and whatever. And it's like, makes you lose a little bit of faith in humanity when you work
really
with the public.
Because like, working at Superstore during the toilet paper scare.
Oh, God.
Because I remember when it was happening.
Yeah, that would have been terrifying.
It's like, guys, you don't need that. And the amount of times I got yelled, because you have to, like, call and, like, confirm their order after, like, you go and, like, grab their groceries. You gotta, like, be like, okay, so we had to substitute this item, or I'm sorry, we have nothing to exchange for this item, so we're just gonna take it off. We deeply apologize. And they get mad at you like you're the one that pulls this shit out of your ass.
Yeah, like it's any different from it. Like, if they walked in and it just wasn't there, they wouldn't lose their shit. They'd just be like, oh, I guess I'll get it another time. Well, sometimes I guess they would. I was gonna say,
I was going past like the aisle that had the toilet paper in it, even though like it wasn't there, and this one person just was like, where's the fucking toilet paper? I'm like, Good question, man.
Lordy.
I wasn't able to get any either, and I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to wipe my butt.
I have some baby wipes.
At that time, because like there was nothing going on, there was no baby wipes.
True, yeah.
There was no
Shortage on
Lysol
everything.
wipes. Can you imagine wiping your ass with a Lysol wipe?
Ooh, stingy.
But, but like,
No, thank you.
like that wasn't there. There wasn't any napkin. Like there was like, genuinely nothing that people could like wipe their ass.
I guess, yeah, true.
And like people are getting mad because like people want like disinfectant wipes, and I was like,
Why would you go to? I'd rather use like a paper towel or something.
Well, I mean, like just in general for like people wanted disinfectant wipes because like like keeping it
pandemic
clean.
and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, maybe someone was out there using it for that. I mean, if you're desperate enough, if you're,
I mean,
I feel like I'd use a leaf over.
Yeah, I feel like I'd use a leaf over that too. But like, I mean,
let it drip dry. I don't know.
When we go out for like military stuff, like if we're out in the woods for the weekend, we bring a pack of baby wipes because there's nothing nicer every once in a while than just using a baby wipe.
Well, that's why they
feel right clean.
That's why they make like toilet wipes.
Yeah, I mean, but I also find that funny though because people are like, "Oh, why do you use baby wipes?" I'm like, "Why?"
It's a toilet wipe.
It's the same thing, just one's branded as a baby wipe, but it's still just a wipe.
You still like the baby wipe's purpose is to wipe the child's
to clean you.
butt, isn't it?
Yeah. It is to clean your area. So why does it matter if I'm using it as an adult or if I use it on a baby? It's to clean.
Yeah, it does. It has a purpose.
It does the thing. It did it. Good job.
Like I don't know. I just don't understand. Like if anything, get mad at like the suppliers, but even then, the suppliers are doing the best that they can.
Yeah, we were at the time in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Yeah, and like even before that, like when because I was there for like I want to say like 3 months before the pandemic hit, and like like people like asking about like milk and stuff because like you're like going picking groceries and like
right, yeah,
people like come up to you and ask, for lack of better words, stupid fucking questions. Like, where's the turkey baster? Maybe in the aisle that we're standing in front of that says like kitchen supplies. But
I know you were going to say like home essentials or something, but I just thought home materials when you started that sentence.
But it's like especially with the milk, cause like I don't know where to keep all the milk. Like I know what's in the milk cooler and I know where to find things generally, cause I had to go in there every now and again.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I'm sorry that the milkman hasn't come today.
Could you imagine if we still lived back when like it literally was just like milk delivery service and it just dropped it off at your door all the time?
I mean, that happened a lot when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, no, like in my hometown, for like probably up until like I was like 7, we had like we would go out and buy milk too, but like there was a guy that like delivered milk to our door.
Sorry. Really?
Yeah.
I've never had that. Not that I remember anyway. Maybe I did when I was like younger. But
that's why we had so many fucking milk crates at the house. But they're good for organization.
Milk crates are wonderful, and I'm sad that they're not like a common thing anymore. Anytime I see one like at Valley Village or whatever, I'm like, mine.
Which, by the way, like you didn't hear this from me, but if you ask nicely, and you see an empty milk crate, they will give you it.
Where? I like
anywhere.
At Super.
Because like from when I used to work at the gas station, which was my first official, technically legal job.
Yeah.
Because before that I was a fruit laborer, but
fruit laborer.
Yeah.
What is the job description of a fruit laborer?
You pick fruit.
Oh, at like a farm.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant like at Superstore. Your job was a fruit laborer.
No, this was from like
in high school kind of thing or
middle school. But,
middle school. Starting them young.
Pocket money.
Yeah, true.
But like my first official job was working at the gas station, and like we had like milk crates because like it's a convenience store kind of situation.
Yeah, right.
There was a lot going on with that gas station.
Oh, I imagine. I've had a few friends that work at gas stations, and they sound like a interesting time, to put it calmly.
I'm gonna explain this gas station for mine.
Okay.
So, because small town, but so it's a gas station convenience store, hunting and sports goods store, mixed with a deli and a distillery.
Is it? Yes.
Yeah.
We every time we went down that way and
beef jerky.
Yeah, every time we used to go down there, we used to just go in and check it out because we loved that it was just like a variety store.
Yeah.
And it had fucking everything in it, and because we would always go to the now non-existent Upper Clements.
Yes.
Down that way, and every time we'd stop into that store.
Yeah.
I have probably seen you in that store before and just never knew it was you.
Probably. I worked there from 2017 to 2019, technically. Because I like for like part of like the when I wasn't in college, I worked there over the summer kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
there's a very good chance that I saw you there before.
Probably. I looked
you.
very different back then.
I could see that, yeah. Although I don't know. Well, yeah, no, I definitely would have gone. Well, when did Upper Clements shut down?
Upper Clements shut down in 2019.
Was it 2019? Okay, yeah. Wild, small world, dude.
Right? But so like, there's like a lot going on.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
a busy store. Yeah.
But so like I know we would like if people like asked for things like you want like the like because we had those like massive ice cream buckets.
Oh yeah.
First of all, you can buy just a filled one.
Oh yeah.
Which costed roughly $58 at the time.
Jesus.
But I mean, worth it.
It's a massive tub of
it's 10 liters of ice cream.
Yeah, 10 liters. Yeah.
And then like you have like your like crates and like people would just like ask for them and like it as long as you're nice, my answer is yes.
Interesting. Because I have a very small, slowly growing record collection, and they are wonderful for holding records. I only have like 4 at the moment, maybe only 3. I can't see from here. Now the K-pop albums are above that, and there's much more of those.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like they're just wonderful. Even like in my work van, they're great for if I had one for like holding things. One of my coworkers
stack really nicely.
Yeah, one of my coworkers is like they also make great impromptu little step stools if you need them.
You gotta be careful though.
Little dangerous.
Yes.
But yeah.
I have cracked one before.
Oh yeah, me too.
So like, but like we, because we didn't have stools behind the counter, but we did keep at least one of those.
Oh yeah.
So it was like, technically speaking, not supposed to, but but like, I mean, you're there
How
for
are they
like.
gonna know?
It took like 9-hour shifts, right?
Yeah.
And, like, except for like when I was like in school. Well, no, those ones were like 7 hours because like I'd get off of school at like 3, start my shift at like 3:30, stay there till 11, which was close, and then go home and get up for school. Which was,
yay, the good old days. Although there are some days where I'm like, maybe I'll just go back to school.
I do think about that occasionally, but at the same time, I'm terrified of that.
Yeah. Although I don't know, I'm back and forth because if I passed my fitness test and I got in and I swapped over roles that I'm at in the military, there's a high chance I might go back to school. But at the same time, I don't really want to or plan on leaving the current job I'm at because the people I work with are great and the company itself is awesome. So I kind of want to stick it out there for quite a while. Yeah. Like my goal would be only to leave if I ever decide to go full-time military. So if I did leave to go back to school, obviously that's not working. So
yeah.
But we'll see what happens. You never know. Everything changes, but
so I suppose since we're on the topic of working with the public, do you have a horror story of somewhere, or like a tale of caution, if you will, that you would tell someone?
My tale of caution is really just take everything with a grain of salt. Like, one of the biggest things one of my managers told me forever ago was, it sucks being the frontline person because we're the one that they end up exploding at, but 9 times out of 10, that person that's coming in and getting mad at you has had 15 other things happen that day, and we just happen to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. So sometimes they're just shitty people. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes people are just assholes. But also just, like, you're getting that 1 second of that person and they're getting 1 second of you. Like, they don't know you as a person. They know you as the person who works at this store. Like, don't take their shitty response to you trying to do your job well as you fucked up. Unless, I mean, sometimes there are some instances where you legitimately fucked up. Like, I've put in orders wrong or whatever, and you know, take responsibility. Yeah, take responsibility when you are the one to fuck up. But other than that, like, I said it earlier, but now, especially because I've worked, all right, let's count the customer service jobs I've worked. I started when I was around 13. I worked at the YMCA with the daycare. That was mainly just dealing with kids all the time. I worked at Wendy's. I've worked at Spencer's. I've worked at I'm trying to think now. Oh my gosh.
There's that like historical
Oh yeah, I worked as a heritage interpreter at the Fisheries Museum. I've worked at, oh my god. So some of them are like kind of customer service, but not, because like I've worked as
still working with the public.
Yeah, I've worked as a custodian at schools, so like you deal with a lot of teachers and a lot of students and kids and stuff like that. I've worked for general labor for construction companies and things like that. I've worked as a project manager for land development companies. So it's not necessarily public, but you're dealing with contractors and things like that. Like almost every job I've done, there's some involvement with other people. I've done looking everything.
You are, in my opinion, more of a people person.
Yeah, no, I definitely am, and that was a big thing with this job that when I was applying for it, they kind of said like, what's your customer service experience? And I, explained all that to them, and I said like, I am a people person, and especially now as I've gotten older, where I've learned how to kind of brush off those bad experiences a little bit better. It's like, that's one thing that I like about my job, because like I said, knock on wood, 90% of my job since I've started this one back in November has been very nice customers. My favorite is like when I go and I like get these little old ladies that I'm hooking up their internet, and they're just super sweet. And like my trainer and I went to one house, and she was absolutely adorable. She was telling us all about her family and her friends, and we walked in and we were just talking to her, and she's like, oh, come on in, I'll just get to sit here and watch his work, I love it. She's like, I love everybody, I love men and women, and like everybody's great. And she had little treats, and she was feeding us the whole time, and I'm just like, you are wonderful.
That's
so like
so wholesome.
Right, it's kind of that back and forth where you kind of have to pay more attention to the good experiences, because it'll make it better. Like I've had some crotchety ass customers, and I've had some people that have been shitty because I'm a woman doing a classically man's job,
which stems a lot of issues.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny, because on the one side I feel like people don't get as angry at me because I'm a woman doing the job. Like they're kind of easier on me about it, which I mean, sure, I'll take it, whatever. But it's also very fun when I go to houses where, and I mean, it's very nice in this job. I've had mostly good experiences, so it's hard to think of the shitty things right now, but I've definitely had some, customers just being complete fucking assholes. But I've had some, like, the amount of times I've gone into a house and people are like, I've never had a woman cable person before. And like, I've had one woman that I was there talking to her, and she's like, wow, she's like, are you a full-blown electrician, or do you just do like this kind of install? I was like, no, I just do this. And she's like, I was gonna say, if you were like an electrician, I'd say start your own company and start like an all-women's band. Like I'd hire you, I'd tell all my friends. I'm like, hell yeah, that's wonderful.
We love that.
So that's been great. But I mean, obviously I've worked some other jobs that weren't as like my general labor position. It was because I was a woman, I just got stuck doing the cleaning gig most of the time. He's like, oh, we can't trust her to do sanding or drilling or blah, 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 blah. Like, we'll make the woman clean. Yeah, it was fucking stupid. And in a lot of those instances, it's been shitty managers more than shitty customers. But that's also part of dealing with the public. Like, you have to deal with people every day at your jobs, whether it's your coworkers or your managers or whatever. And, like, sometimes the shittiest people are your managers, not the public. But when you got a good management team or good coworkers with you, it definitely makes it better. So,
yeah.
What about you? You kind of told us your one horror story of Gentleman at Superstore. But.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I guess like there's like a couple I could tell from my time at the gas station, but
gas stations just seem like such a
they're like an alternate dimension.
Yeah, it just seems like such a brooding place for chaos and like weird ass stories.
This one I find funny because like it's more of like the way it was divided in like staff wise is that the girls worked the till and worked inside for the most part.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And the guys, we call them the gas boys because like they like would do like full service on cars, like fill it up. There was a we also had like animal feed there that you could buy, like horse feed, chicken feed, stuff.
Okay.
So like they would like work in like the shed and stuff.
Right.
So like it was very kind of girls weren't supposed to go out and do full service, even though sometimes it's hard to find the guys because they don't pay attention to the walkie when you tell them, hey, I have someone that needs full service right now on the pump. So then you go out and you do it, and you get back and get berated because you're supposed to be behind the till.
But other people weren't doing their shit.
Yeah. So, like, in, like, that case, like, it was very divided to gender roles, which I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah.
But then, also at that time, because Kira still didn't understand the whole non-binary thing, and I used to get very irritated when people used to think I was a guy, because I'm like, I'm a girl. No, but back then I was like really heated about it, and like I would constantly get what I considered being misgendered back then. And one time, one shift, I was probably about 2 hours in, and I had been referred to incorrectly about 15 times, and it was just for like stupid things, and it's like I understand it happens, but it was like, back then I was in my opinion, very femme presenting, and it's like, when you don't like understand like the whole,
when you haven't figured it out yourself and other people are throwing it at you kind of thing.
Yeah. So then like that was just something that like really bugged me, and then also, just as a warning, when you go into gas station bathrooms, do not touch the walls.
Ew. I don't want to know why. I don't want to know.
I've had to clean some very interesting things off of the walls.
Some bodily fluids.
Yeah. I didn't know at the time.
Oh, Kira.
It got quite high up there.
Oh no.
Also, just saying that might not be the best place to relieve yourself.
Work your arm out.
Like, I don't know why you'd be so excited in a gas station, but you know, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Some people get real horny for gas.
Just clean up. Man, that gun section just got me going.
Oh, lordy.
Look at that one pumps.
Oh, gotta pump myself up, hell yeah.
But just, I mean, like, do whatever you're gonna do. Just don't. At least wipe down the wall.
No, don't do whatever you're gonna do.
So some poor teenager that just got out of computer science class doesn't have to wipe down the wall. Like, I got out of coding class.
Oh
I had
God.
my notes, and I was just trying to like finish my notes for that class, and then
got notes on something else instead.
This time it was like I gotta like check the bathroom like every hour kind of thing,
God,
maintain it, and just like go in, and like I hadn't even like gotten like the cleaning supplies out yet, so like I hadn't had my gloves on yet.
Oh, don't tell me you cleaned it without gloves on.
No, but I did touch the wall because I wasn't. I didn't see it.
Oh.
I didn't see it,
Kira.
because I was getting the stuff out, and I didn't because like the like cleaning supplies was in one of the bathrooms, and so like I like you know like I'm like you know you like lean up against the wall and like oh and like that's sticky. That is sticky. Why is it sticky? And then I changed the garbage and I'm like, oh, that's why it's sticky. Cool. So, don't touch the walls.
Gross.
Also, just
don't jack
just
off
don't.
in a public bathroom. Period.
There's no reason.
None of that.
Surely
please.
it can wait.
Oh God.
I
personally haven't had to deal with that, but my manager at Wendy's told me that she's like chased people out of the bathroom that were trying to fuck in there.
I never had to do that, but that is weird.
Yeah.
Though during the Panorama at Superstore,
oh gosh.
some lady, we think she was on the lam or something, like she's like running or something.
Oh, I was like, on the lam. What kind of drug is that?
She's on the lam. See, she's making a break for it. Because she went in, and I had a coworker that was like around the same age as me. Because there wasn't like, I mean, there was like a decent number, but like we were like friends, and like she was like going to the bathroom because like she had to piss.
Right.
And she goes in. This lady is not only like getting undressed, not in one of the stalls, but she also has a box of hair dye, and like she's like doing her hair in the bathroom. Well, I'm not sure if like she was naked at that point or not.
What the fuck?
So like I don't know what was happening. I didn't check it out. I feel bad for my coworker.
Oh, that reminded me of a story from once again good old Spirit Halloween. There was one woman that came in and she was trying on like a sexy nurse costume, and I was working the change station, and so she went in and she tried on and she like brought her own pantyhose and everything and like had put on lipstick, and she kept like she'd like come out with like most of it on and then asked me to take a picture so she could see what it looked like, and she'd be like posing, and she had brought like a syringe and all I was like, am I taking shots for an OnlyFans account right now? Like she had brought nail polish that she left in the change room, and she had like painted her nails while she was in there. Like,
you fully helped someone, like,
right? Yeah, she was sending them sexy pics to someone. She didn't end up buying the costume either, so yeah.
Is that technically aiding and abetting, or like what is that?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but she was just trying it on. She was like, oh, and like I had to help her pin in the hairpiece and everything. I'm like, it was a quiet day, so there was nothing going on. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care.
I mean, on quiet days, things get interesting.
Right? Yeah.
Because, yeah, no, I was like anytime it's been like quiet at like any of the jobs, like something always.
Oh yeah. Like working at Spencer's was wild because people always tried to steal. Which at most jobs I've worked, they're like, if you think somebody's stealing, kind of go up and talk to them and see if you can, you know, basically guilt trip them into confessing that they were trying to steal and hand it over. And if they don't, just leave it. Spencer's was like, no, you chase that motherfucker down the mall until you get it back. I didn't have to do it, but I watched my manager do it once or twice. And,
we love a good chase.
Right? There was, oh my God. So one night I feel like it was a Sunday night for some reason. But anyway, one night I was working the closing shift, and it was getting close to closing time. And these two individuals walk in, and I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh, good. And we had a nice little chat. And one of them looked at me and goes, I was just wondering, where's the washroom? Because I have to run to the washroom. I was like, oh, it's back out the store and down the hall. And she's like, oh, perfect. And then she looked at her friend. She's like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to run to the washroom. Their friend was like, cool, great, thanks. So I was at the front of the store, so I was being greeter, basically. So it was about 10 minutes later, and this customer comes back in. And I was like, oh, hey, welcome back. And she just goes, my poop was great, thank you. I was like, okay. You're welcome. It's not what I was asking, but glad you had a good poop. Spencer's had the weirdest amount of customers. Like, it was a very interesting place to work.
I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, there's one guy that was kind of regular, and he would always like lurk around late, and he'd like hang out at the back of the store and like look at the posters, and he would be wearing sweatpants, and it would be very obvious, and we'd just kind of have to like awkwardly be like, "Can we help you with anything, sir? Like, can you get the fuck out, please? We're closing now."
Also, like, why are you getting your jollies in public?
Some people are exhibitionists.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's a very private thing to me.
Yeah. There have been people that have also come in because Spencer sells toys of the sexual variety. I don't know why I'm PGing myself. We sell dildos and shit. I say we. I don't work there anymore. I haven't in a few years. But there were customers that would come in and try to return their old used dildos because it didn't do it for them, and we're like, no. Once that package is open, honey, we ain't touching it. Yeah, especially once it goes in you.
Yeah, we don't know where it's been.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Well, no, we know where it's been. That's
we
why.
know we can hazard a guess where it's been, and we don't want it back. Like, no, thank you.
The only like weird things I've seen at like Superstore is like specifically during like the pandemic when people can't find masks. The fun things that they use.
Oh yeah.
The funnest, and this goes against everything you're taught as a child, was someone put their head in a produce bag.
Wait, what?
There was this guy.
Just whole head.
Yeah. Okay, picture me this.
Oh, God.
Okay. So I want you to imagine like a scruffy type barista man.
Mm-hmm.
But like extra scruffy.
Okay.
Extra scruffy.
Add some scruff.
He had a beard.
Okay.
Like a full, like, damn, that's a beard.
Gotcha. A beard.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Lumberjack style.
Gotcha.
Okay. So he's got the bag on his head. It's not like tied up. He's just got it over his head.
Mm.
No mask. He's got a bottle of ranch. He's only come in for ranch. This is a family-sized thing of ranch. And like I'm watching him go through the self-checkout because I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm like, who told you that it was a good idea to put like? First of all, at the time,
did he just walk in and peel one out and put it on, or did he have it on when he came in?
No one knows.
Oh God.
But
no one knows.
at the time, Superstore had been giving out masks at the entrance.
And nope, I'm good with my produce bag.
So either here's my two theories.
Okay.
Either he did come in with this bag on his head and no one said anything.
I feel like
or
one moment. Keep talking.
Or he had a mask on to fool everyone and then went to the produce section and took off the mask and put the bag on. And I don't know which one I like the idea of more.
Yeah, I don't know which one is better or worse in that situation. Part of me loves the power move of fuck the mask, I'm putting on a bag.
Yeah,
But also, yeah, that kind of falls in the, don't you put it in your mouth category of like, don't put a plastic bag over your head.
That's like the golden rule. Like there were like adverts when we were children. Yeah. Don't put your head in a fucking bag.
Yeah.
You can suffocate. I've seen a lot of weird things.
Oh, God, yep.
One, when I worked at the gas station, this guy showed up in what I would refer to as a pedo van.
Oh, no.
The things that he bought, because, first of all, he looked like Jesus.
Lovely.
Like, white man Jesus.
Gotcha.
The things he bought, he bought milk, okay, whatever, do what you're gonna do. Twist, or like zap straps, whatever you call them. They use them to like fasten things, and like they have like a little click thing.
Zip ties?
Yeah, yes, thank you, zip ties.
Okay.
He bought zap straps, bought tape, and bungee cords, and rope.
who and what is hiding in your basement? And what are you doing to it?
I don't know. Like, I was, like, at the very specific time, like, it was, like, late at night. It was, like, 15 minutes to closing, so, like, it's, like, 10:45.
Y'all should have checked his trunk while he was inside.
It was, like, it was only, like, young girls working at the time, so I'm like, I gonna...
Yeah.
So that one was weird. And then, back to Superstore. This is my favorite story.
Okay. I love it.
So, it's a very quiet Thursday afternoon. And the area where, like, the, like, grocery pickup is right across from, like, the Lotto area.
Right.
And, like, I'm doing desk that day. So I'm, like, typing, doing whatever. And, like, just, like, look out. And this man is wearing cargo shorts, like camo cargo shorts.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of the cargo shorts, he was wearing an ass lifter. Like, you know, like, to help.
Outside of the shorts.
Like, very clearly man is wearing an ass lifter. And
like the one where it's got, like, 2 buttholes in the back, where like, the butt cheeks are supposed to come through?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And he was like... So, like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. So, like, I, like, look over to my, like, younger coworker. I'm like, hey, dude, are you seeing? And he just, like, peers out, and he's like, is that what I think it is? This man was double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon!
In his fucking camo pants. I fucking love that.
When I say that made my fucking day,
yeah,
I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, cause, like, his whole attire was just like cargo camo shorts, ass lifter, a band t-shirt, and a baseball hat. Cause he took the baseball hat off at one point, and this man was, like, bald, and I don't know why that made it even better, but like, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
Fucking love that. Get it, King.
And, like, the thing is that, like, it, like, because you'd think, like, the cargo shorts would, like make it kind of, like, look, like, ruffled and, like, it wouldn't, like, sit in it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that man had it, like, snatched. I don't know if, like, because, like, I know that this coworker remembers this vividly with me. I don't know if you listen to this man, but, dude, that made my day.
That is fucking wonderful. This tangentially relates to all this, but my mother in the past has had the history of being a Karen when we're out in public. Not horribly so, but we have educated her in her years of what being a Karen means, and she has gotten a lot better about it. She's much, this is where, you know, the good karma equals out, because she has also been, like, if we're at Tim Hortons or something and, you know, some asshat is giving one of the teenagers working there a hard time, she'll step up and be like, shut the fuck up to the asshat, right? Like, she'll stick up for the younger kids and stuff, especially down home, because she is that 60-year-old woman now that goes to the same Tim Hortons every day and sits there for a few hours and talks with her buddies and stuff. So she's very close with the people there. And, like, one of the girls that I used to work with at the YMCA, she got very close with a lot of the workers there and stuff. And so, like, she was the mama bear. Like, she would sit there and she'd stand up for them and stuff. So we're like, all right, your good karma is equaling out now because you're more self-aware. But we used to always joke that my mother's name is Sharon, so we said that she was always the final form of Karen. But she's very aware of it now, and it's so funny because, like I said, she's much better now. Like, she's not nearly as aggressive or rude or anything like that. Like, she's a lot more calm and understanding, especially now that she's had 2 kids that have experienced that kind of work environment and stuff. And but it's so funny because she'll call me up and she'll be like, okay, I had a Karen moment today. And I'm like, oh God, Mama, what'd you do?
I mean, at least she's aware
She is self-aware, and it is wonderful.
And, like, I understand to, like, a certain extent that, you know, the generations before us do think that there's a certain level of service that is supposed to be provided, and I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you gotta like take with a grain of salt that they are human. Humans have flaws and make mistakes.
We are not perfect.
Yeah, like
we are far fucking from it, to be honest.
Like I understand wanting to have good service, and you can, for sure. But like good service doesn't mean you get to demean people.
Yeah.
It's like, the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Right. Although, somewhere in the States, they've recently come out with the Karen restaurant. Have you heard of this one?
I would go to that.
I would fucking love to go there and or work there.
Because I know what I'm getting into, and I know, I know I'm going to get yelled at.
Yeah.
I know what to expect. I'm going to get cussed at, and they kind of expect you to play along, too. So
constantly, I'd just be like, what the fuck do you want? Get the fuck out. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
So, like that's fun, and that's fine, like, because everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
But did you know, speaking about the Karen restaurant, is that someone went not knowing, and they were a Karen?
Oh.
And they wrote, like, a massive, like, Yelp review being like, they are so rude there, and blah, 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 blah,
no
blah.
Shit, honey, that's the point.
Like, it's called Karen.
Do a little research before you go. I love that.
It doesn't take rocket science. Because like, I understand that, like, the whole, like, Karen, Ken, or Kevin, whatever the male equivalent is.
I just call all of them a Karen, no matter what.
That's fair. Everyone's Karen.
But it's Karen with a K.
Yes.
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 Specifically.
But, like, I also feel like Ken has that energy.
True.
It's like a Brian.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, Brians, like, they have, like, an energy about them. Like, they know a lot, but they'll be very condescending. That's the energy that a Brian gives me.
Fair. Yeah. It's like fuckboy Kyle, Yeah. We've all met one.
But, like, I just...
Yeah. People. Can't live with them, can't live without them.
Yeah. Just take this as a sign today that, like, if you're thinking about, like, getting mad at some poor little retail food service person, maybe take a couple seconds to assess why you feel the need to bully them when you know that they can't fight back, man. Like, leave them the fuck alone. They're having a hard day. They probably rolled up there without having coffee or breakfast. And, like, they've been on their feet for, like, hours. And they probably only get, like, a 15-minute break. And, like, that's it.
Also, just remember, you can make your own fucking food. So shut the hell up.
Yeah. Like, you were lazy enough that you decided to get takeout. Which, again, nothing wrong with takeout. We love takeout. But you have to own the fact that, like, you actively made choices that, like, choices have consequences.
Who would have thunk it?
I know.
Actions and consequences in this economy?
In this lifetime?
Oh,
like, seriously, Elliot, it just really bugs me with things. So, like, also, like, your food doesn't instantaneously show up just because you ordered it out. Like, they still have to make it.
Yeah.
It's not like...
We don't live in fucking Star Trek world where you can just beam me up, Scotty, your fucking meals.
Yeah, like the whole, like, transmutator thing that they have, which I love the idea of.
I love that,
I can't wait for that technology.
I can't wait till we actually get to, like, be able to beam me up to go anywhere.
Oh, fuck
like,
yeah,
that travel shit.
Like, yes. Gonna be great.
Travel will be so cheap, although they'd skyrocket the prices to use it, but...
But, like, at the same time...
so fast.
Like... The food doesn't magically appear. They still have to make it.
Yeah.
And that takes time. Like, and I know that we personally would rather not give you salmonella.
Yeah.
Or E. coli. So we have to make sure things are cooked.
Yeah. And then also, if we don't, and, everything's all pre-cooked and it's sitting there, then you fuckers complain, it's too cold. Why was it hot enough? My chicken's not crispy enough.
Which, by the way, like, things that, like, they, like, leave under heat lamps still stay hot.
Yeah.
They do. Like, they actively do. I've stuck my hand underneath a heat lamp before. It's fucking hot under there. Like, there is... Like, I'm sorry that you like your food at, like, scalding levels.
Cook it yourself.
But, like, also, you can, like, reheat takeout. Like, I personally, when I get takeout, whatever temperature it comes at, I don't care. I know people that, like, when they get takeout, they like to take it home and reheat it in, like, an oven or something just to make sure it's, like, nice and hot.
Yeah.
Which I fully understand.
Do you, boo?
But, like, when people do that, I've had, like, my takeout that I got with them, and I just eat mine normally, and it's still really hot. Like, you're gonna burn your mouth. Like, why do you want it that hot?
Although I am bad like that for, like, tea. Like, my tea needs to be scalding.
Which, like, fine. I don't really understand the point of it, but, like, if that's what you like, sure. I just want people to know that, like, when you do get the fast food and take it home, it still will be hot. Because I used to have to wait, like, 20 minutes for, like, a bus at, like, my old place.
True, yeah.
To get it home. And, like, I'd get, like, A&W on my way home from work. And, like, I'd, like, go. And, like, by the time I got home, it was still hot.
Yeah. It's not going to cool down that fast.
It's not.
No.
It's not like you threw it in a freezer, right?
If you do, then it's your own damn fault.
Yeah, why are you throwing perfectly good food in the freezer?
Fuck people. God damn.
Don't be a Karen.
Don't be a Karen. Be nice to your essential workers, your frontline workers. You're nice to fucking everybody.
Tip when you can. If you can't tip, it's okay. But, like, it is appreciated.
Yeah. Be nice to each other. Love each other. All that fun shit.
Stay
Don't
hydrated.
Be a shitty human. Stay out of.
I said stay hydrated.
Oh, I heard stay out of. I was like, oh, did I cut you off?
No.
Stay out of trouble. Stay out of shitty places. Also,
if you do manage to sit down, make sure no one's around. Don't do it in front of cameras. Shh.
Just tell people to fuck off. Okay, bye!
Bye!
Hey y'all, we just wanted to pop back in here at the end of the episode and thank you again for listening and let you know where you can find us.
You can find me, Kira, on all social platforms under the name Fish Antlers. I also have an online store. Maybe check it out. It's also called Fish Antlers.
And you can find me, Emily, on all social media platforms under Lil Halfling for my personal account or Seymour Snaps for some photography stuff that is mentioned in quite a few of our episodes. But it's fun to do.
For more Gremlins by Nature, we are on all socials at Gremlins by Nature. We'd love to hear from you guys, so tag us or hashtag the GBN pod or Gremlins by Nature and let us know what you want to hear us talk about.
Or if you have any additional stories or information on things we've already talked about, we want to hear about that too.
You can listen to our episodes every second Friday, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. And if you can't find us where you normally listen, let us know and we'll add ourselves there.
Thanks all. Bye.